BodyBags, where horror lies.
Welcome back to BodyBags. This is week number 373. This is going to be a random review. I'll be your host, Jason from Horrific Nightmares. And today we are going to finish up our journey for the door into darkness with episode 3, Eyewitness. Now, Eyewitness comes from a 1973 Italian television series, and it runs approximately 55 minutes. Now, this is directed by Roberto Bariante. He unfortunately passed away on January 5th, 2009, at the age of 76. Now, he was mostly known as an assistant director and assisted Dario Argento on such titles as Four Flies on Grey Velvet and The Cat o' Nine Tails, just to name a few. Now, this, of course, was written by Dario Argento and Luigi Cozzi. Dario Argento being who he is. He is responsible for Suspiria, Deep Red, and Inferno, just to name a few. And Luigi Cozzi is responsible for Alien Contamination and Star Crash. Now, this stars Marilia Tolo. She was in Scorpion with the Two Tails, The Sleep of Death, and The 5 Days. Riccardo Salvino. Let's see. She was in A Sword for Brandy, Your Vice is a Locked Room, and Only I Have the Key. And I'm going to try to pronounce this one. Glauco Ornato. Unfortunately, he passed away on December 31st, 2009, at the age of 73. Now, he was in Women in Arms, Stark System, and The Last Daddy. Now, like The Neighbor, this has an extremely simple plot. A woman is on the back roads driving home at a pretty rapid pace because she's familiar with the back roads to get to her husband to get home. And as she's going around a curve, a woman stumbles out into the middle of the road, which she almost hits. She does stop short. She gets out, checks the woman, and the woman appears to be dead, and there is blood on the concrete. Now she looks over and sees someone coming towards her with your typical giallo fashion, with black gloves, an overcoat, a hat, typical giallo. So she runs away. She goes down the street to a tavern where she calls the police. Now, the policeman is played by Glauco Ornato, and he does a really, really good job of being incredibly skeptical. And that's one of the things I like about this so much. Because when they go back to the scene of the crime, there is no body and there's no blood on the concrete. So either A, she's lost her mind, or B, someone is trying to cover up the death. And what you're basically left with is trying to figure out the mystery of if there was a girl there and what part the person with the overcoat and everything plays into the so-called murder. I'm going to pretty much leave it there. There's a lot more to this. For 55 minutes, while it being a simple plot, it does go into a couple different areas, which I was really impressed with. And this is definitely worth a watch. The first one I watched off of the series was The Doll. And I did review that for Slashback, which is something I do on my own channel, created by my good buddy Joe the Horror Man. This is actually, I consider this the weakest one of the bunch, The Doll. I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't as good as a lot of the other ones. Now, the second one I watched was The Tram. I absolutely loved The Tram. I thought it was fantastic. probably the best one on there without a doubt. Then I watched The Neighbor, which I reviewed last week, and that was great. This one I think I liked a little bit better than The Neighbor. So if I was going to rank them, I would probably go The Tram, well, from first to last. The Tram, Eyewitness, The Neighbor, and then The Doll. But the documentary makes this worth the purchase altogether. This documentary on Dario Argento, which I also reviewed this month, is just fantastic. It's amazing. It's just an awesome, awesome documentary. Better than any of the other ones I've seen about him. This is definitely a recommendation. If you can track this down, who does this now? MYA. I've seen a few of them on eBay. If you can track this down, this is definitely worth the money. I think it's going for somewhere like between $20 and $25, which isn't bad for a television series. And as far as I know, this is complete. This was very short-lived, but it was a brilliant, brilliant television series and a definite recommendation for me. And don't forget to check out everyone else who reviews on BodyBags. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.